which is a comment from Yoku. Yes, I'm talking about Yoku farting like I made a joke about in the beginning of this. It is what it is. It happens sometimes. But he does seem to imply that something Dragon Ball related will happen at some point in the future. But he's also been hinting at this for a while now, so I wouldn't take it too crazily one way or another. I think something is, of course, going to happen in this franchise because it's a popular series and it makes a lot of money for people. Okay, back to the main game. Okay. You might be saying this animation's out of Dragon Ball is suffering. Okay. What about some other stuff, like the manga? Well, the Dragon Ball Super manga is still on hiatus, and it has been for a while. It basically went on hiatus right after Toriyama's passing. We got one bonus chapter since then, but it hasn't been back to its monthly release schedule, though everything calls this a hiatus. So unlike the Dragon Ball Super anime, where people call it a hiatus, but officially I don't think it's actually a hiatus. I think it's actually a season that ended, but maybe if it comes back up to programming, who knows? But with the manga, everything says it's on an indefinite hiatus, or a hiatus at the very least. So I think there's no need to rush to it being canceled or anything, because I've also seen people say, as far as we know, it's not. And I don't think all these like press tours and interviews with Toyotaro would happen if Toyotaro was I think there will be a possible super manga at some point, a continuation of some kind, and maybe it wraps up after the very next arc, and that's it. Maybe it goes back to permanent dead. But until that happens, I don't think there's any reason for this being canceled. I think it's on hiatus, like everyone is saying. So it's just a matter of time. But when? No one. And that's sort of a running Alright, so nothing anime going on, nothing manga going on. What about the game? People love Dragon Ball games. Not me. I don't know Dragon Ball games. But people love Dragon Ball games. What is going on in the world of Dragon Ball games? Now, I might be looking this way at my notes a little bit because I'm not truly versed in Dragon Ball games. I'm going to try and keep this brief so that way I'm not talking about what I don't actually have experience or knowledge in. But I do want to talk about the stuff that I see going on. And, if you know differently in the comments, let me see. Let's go with Sparking Zero. Is Sparking Zero dead? I don't know. It apparently just got a DLC for Daima, and people are really enjoying that as far as I'm aware. But apparently, for the people who enjoy those type of games, it is crucially missing some broader and more important features that the older games have. These basic features of like character customization to some degree. Arenas, I think, is one of the big complaints I saw recurring when I was trying to read through things that people were complaining about, as well as some other things also were missing from this game, and potentially still are missing from this game. And even if they came in, I think it might be too late to recover the reputation that is so hyped up and so truly thought to be the next big return to form Dragon Ball game that it might just be too late to save Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, but you never know. A good DLC.
But it's been coming soon for a full year. You could change your definition of something, or you could just change your mind.
hardcore audience that just plays a lot of Xenoverse, maybe plays some other games, but maybe plays that's their home, that's their game. That's where their OC lives, that's where their content that they like is, this sort of legend, this sort of Dragon Ball stuff, even more so potentially than the What Ifs and Sparking Zero. And so people really, really like Xenoverse. And so for some of them, it's hard to let go. But I don't think Xenoverse is doing anything to grow or even sustain it. If anything, I think Xenoverse sort of slowly loses people over time, even though it has a strong core audience that is so well with 500,000 active DLC. They are printing money with that game, can't say they're not. But is it really doing anything for Dragon Ball as a whole? Next is Kakarot. Kakarot got Diamond DLC. I think that's all I can say about Kakarot. Kakarot's a single player game, unless something has changed since I've been writing about it. And so it doesn't really have the legs of something that has a multiplayer where you can interact and make sort of infinite content for other people. It sort of lives and dies by its own content in the game. I never really enjoyed Kakarot. They call it an action RPG. I love action RPGs, but it's definitely not what you would think of as a traditional action RPG. I wish I could have really talked to you about gambling on this channel, so if you're under 21, you guys can watch the video, of course, because I'm talking about gotcha games, alright? We got Dokkan and Legends. Now, I've seen some drama about Legends on my timeline. I don't understand that. I don't understand. I've tried both of them. They're not for me. They're just not for me, man. I'm not a gotcha guy. But I don't think gotchas are growing the fandom in any meaningful way, or even sustaining the fandom. I think maybe gotcha sustain the fandom more than something like the universe does, because the barrier to entry to content is a little bit easier, especially new content. But something like a gotcha game is truly for the hardcore of the hardcore. If you want those characters, you want to play them, you want to get into games, you want to but again, I just don't think they're doing much with it. I don't think they're innovating enough. Let's go, man. I'm gonna watch some episodes of the show. I'm gonna pick up the manga and read the arcs that the anime didn't cover. I don't think it's doing any of that. I think it has an audience. It's a core audience, but that's about it. I don't think it's doing much more than that. Recently, we got Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra, and I'm gonna be honest here, guys. As good as this game may or may not be, it's a MOBA in 2025. We are sort of past the MOBA hype train. So I think the best thing this game could do is be a live service game and be a good game. And that will sustain an audience and potentially grow it if there's a good competitive scene for it, if it has some good combat mechanics that allow it to be played at a higher level that makes people want to achieve these higher ratings in a ranked mode. I think that's the appeal of something like a MOBA game. You know, you don't play League of Legends to play it casually. You play it to play ranked and get mad that you're in loser's queue and you're stuck at gold 3 when you're really emerald because you swear you're better than all the scrubs you get matched with and it's their fault that you're losing, not you. Like, that's the appeal for a lot of people, man. So if it can tap into that, then it can bring energy to the fandom. I think Dragon Ball FighterZ did this as well in a really positive and good way, where people wanted to get good at the game. They wanted to get better. It was a game you could get better at, be better at. You wanted to grind, you wanted to get good. And so that sparked interest in Dragon Ball. Oh, I'm playing this character, I'm gonna look up a guide, I'm gonna watch a video, I'm gonna watch the episode of the video he's talking about, I wanna read the manga chapters that relates to this, and it's sort of like this circular interface that pulls people deeper into the fandom, into the series, and makes them more interested. I think it has the potential to do that, and I'm not a MOBA guy, I never really had them. I might give it a shot at some point. I always give a Dragon Ball game a shot. I usually don't like them, but I always give it a shot. So I might give it a chance and see what's going on with it, but yeah. Next, Dragon Ball The Breakers. One more thing I need to add since we got some news since this video was recorded, and that is Dragon Ball got a collab with Minecraft. Now, Dragon Ball gets collabs all the time with things like Fortnite. I think they did one with PUBG, or they were supposed to do one with PUBG, and they've probably done some other ones that I'm not even familiar with. I'm walking